Yep. All right, guys, we're filming another workout. This is going to be a follow along workout. We're going to start with our warm up and then kind of transition through some different flows and some kettlebell swings. So this would be a great at home workout for you to go. Elisa's warming up right now. She's going to do that warm up we've been working on at 3 rounds of rocks, swivels, and an egg roll, and you could just follow along. You will need a kettlebell for this workout. So I think most of you by now have a kettlebell at home. We'll just kind of watch this and follow along. So our swivels with a reach. And our goal here is to have our feet really move and legs as little as possible. We're just going to the side of our foot, flat foot to the other side, and getting that knee down. Ten reps of this. And then we'll go into that egg roll. Hands are on our shins, right below our knees, and we're just slowly dropping to the side and looking over that bottom shoulder. So you should get some neck rotation through here. 3 apiece. Good, and we're back up for round 2 of the warm-up. Elise will change her rock around this time. She's doing a nice little hamstring rock. Trying to sit back as far as she can comfortably. So you do the same. Your range of motion might not be the same as hers, and that's fine. I liked your little pull-up video yesterday. Was it yesterday? The day before?
Yeah, well, it was, I did them yesterday, but I didn't technically make the video yesterday. Okay. But I was wearing the same outfit.
Yes, that's okay. All right, so we're back to our swivels.
And I still did, that's what I did yesterday though, too. So it had crossover. But thank you. Jesse's dad saw it, I guess, and he said, "She's strong for a little shit."
Nice. Man, Michigan's getting hard hit. They have more cases than California, and they got to have
Really
what,
bad.
a
Down
third
in the
or
Detroit area.
yeah,
really,
1/4 of the
really
population. Kind of crazy.
Bad. Yeah.
Back to our egg rolls. Good, we'll do one more round of the warm-up and then we'll get started with our first mobility flow. Did you get a mask yet?
Jesse ordered us some. But
Where did you order them from?
I think he found some on Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I looked one day, they were selling like ski masks, you know, it covered your whole face and just had your eyes
Oh,
and mouth.
really?
Yeah.
Actually,
that's
you
not
know,
really-
I don't know where he got him. Did he get it? I don't remember. But he found some. Do you have any?
Not yet. Although it's getting kind of weird when you go to New Seasons and half the people in there are
I know.
masked up and it just feels really strange. Good, so one of the things we want to do during this time, especially for some of you older gentlemen that do jiu-jitsu, is even though we can't be doing jiu-jitsu, we should hopefully come out of this with better hip mobility. So daily swivels, daily hip switches, multiple times a day for a couple minutes at a time. Let's have better guards and better hips when we get out of this. All right, so that's our warm-up. Now we're gonna go through our first flow. So there's gonna be 5 exercises, 30 seconds apiece. We're gonna go straight through and we're gonna do 2 rounds of that. The first round she's gonna do without a kettlebell. The second round, she's gonna use a kettlebell in kind of a goblet squat hold position, and that'll take the challenge up. You can do this with or without a kettlebell. If you do use a kettlebell, use a really light one. All right, so we're gonna start here, and you can just follow along timing-wise, and we're gonna start off with just our basic hip switch. And we are going. So 30 seconds of this. Again, trying to sit up nice and tall. If you need to use your hand at any point to help you, that's totally fine. Not a problem. Good, so when we hear the buzzer here in a few seconds, we're gonna continue with the hip switch, but we're gonna add a tall kneel to it. So now she's still doing her switch into a tall kneel. Again, hand is totally fine if you need to do that. Hopefully after a few days of this, you don't. We wanna hit that. We're not trying to rush through any of this. We're gonna be famous when this is all over with. I think I'm up to like 7 viewers now, so yeah. All right, when we hear the buzzer, she's gonna transition into just our rolling like a ball. You can make a little circle, you can go a few rolls in each direction. Hands are on the shin, trying to come up, not really touch your feet, but kind of rounding your spine here. When we hear the buzzer, we're going to continue this rolling, but we're going to rock up into that half kneeling kind of lunge position right here. Hand is totally fine if you need it. Good. All right, when you hear the buzzer, we're gonna do the same rock up to half kneeling and then stand up from there. So now we're taking it all the way up and then just reversing that motion, switching our legs, coming back up. Nice. This will be, when we hear the buzzer, the end of our first round, but we're gonna flow through without rest into our second round. Elise is gonna grab the kettlebell and hold it in that goblet squat carry position, which will be quite challenging, or should be quite challenging, especially from a hip mobility standpoint. So we're back into our hip switches. You can add a kettlebell or not. If you do add a kettlebell, it should be quite light. You'll feel this is a core workout also.
It's gonna get challenging hanging on to it.
Yeah. For
straight through.
2.5 straight minutes, yes. We're still doing those hip switches, trying to stand up nice and tall. When we hear the buzzer here, we're gonna continue the hip switch into tall kneeling. Good. If you don't have a kettlebell and you wanna make this more challenging, you could just kind of, as long as you have good form, try to speed up your reps, move through this a little quicker. Nice, 5 seconds left. From here, she'll go into that rolling like a ball, continuing to hold that kettlebell. Good. Halfway through this. Trying to be as smooth and use as little energy as possible, just like we do in our jiu-jitsu. When she hears the buzzer, just rocking up to half kneeling. Good. It should feel like a little bit more work for you. Good.
Definitely.
All right, in a couple seconds, we've got one more exercise. We're going up to rock to half kneeling to all the way to standing up. After this round, we'll take a little rest. do some swings and some squats, and then get back into another flow. Good, halfway through this. Last 5 seconds. And rest. Nice job. Take a minute rest, grab some water. Lisa's gonna get a heavier kettlebell for her swings. And we're gonna do some swings, 15 swings, take a little rest, 10 body weight squats, take a little rest and some push-ups, and then we'll go back to a different flow. Actually, doing that flow with that kettlebell a couple rounds, that would be a workout unto itself.
Oh, good though. But yeah, it gets harder, but definitely harder.
We'll take another 15 or 20 seconds here. Again, we're not trying to beat our bodies up or smash ourselves by working out. We want to feel good and move better. We should get a little sweaty, heart rate up a little bit. All right, so whenever Lisa's ready, she's gonna start her, what do we say, 12? We'll do 12 swings. A nice start position. And she's gonna finish nice and tall in that standing plank at the end of that swing. Everything is squeezed nice and tight so it doesn't go into her back, her low back. Nice exhalation at the top of that swing. Good. All right, we're done with our swings. We'll take another 20, 30 seconds here and just do 10 good body weight squats. Each round though, we're gonna build upon this and add another body weight leg movements until we build up to the full circuit. So, should be fairly easy right now at this point, but we're still trying to work on our hip mobility by pulling ourselves down. Good. All right, next move, take a few seconds to rest, is we're gonna do push-ups. Pick a version that you can do really well of 6 to 8 push-ups. Whatever version you're doing, whether it's knee or hands up on something or regular, we want our whole body moving together. Quads and glutes are squeezed tight, elbows are close to our body. And we're not trying to rush through this. There's a slight pause at the bottom and top. Nice, those are good push-ups. So we're gonna try to use this kind of quarantine time as a time to move better, not have to rush through things so much, and do better reps. All right, so we're gonna take a little rest, and we're gonna go into our second flow, which most of you have done before. We've been doing this on Saturdays. It's gonna consist of everything's for 30 seconds, 2 rounds through, a knee hip roll, up to standing, come back down, do that for 30 seconds. A squat thrust, a Kong crawl, a scorpion, and that plank shift. So whenever you are ready.
We'll call it out.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with our knee hip roll, and we are going right now. Clock is on, so elbow, boom. Then she's gonna stand all the way up, come down. Good. And to make this harder, this time she won't touch her elbows. She'll just roll to her hip. I caught her off guard there.
Yes. It's like, what am I doing?
I have faith in you. That's the faith I have in your movement abilities. All right, when she hears the buzzer, she's gonna go right into her squat thrust. So there's the buzzer, she's back up. We're squatting down to our hands hit, jump out, jump back in. Again, trying to work on our mobility. So if this is hard for you, we could do a mobility version, which is down, one leg at a time back, big step up. So we're getting our hips involved, and that's totally fine. Good. Go back to your regular version. In 3 seconds here, we're gonna switch over to our Kong crawl. And I know you guys are dealing with limited spaces, so we'll go maybe 2 in each direction, and then a couple back. Trying to squat down. Good. Straight arms, so we're putting all of our weight into our hands, and then our legs follow. Nice. We'll have a second to go a little bit slower here when we go into our scorpion. Good, now we're gonna be in scorpion. One leg's gonna come up all the way over slowly. Other leg is straight and pulled underneath her body, up and all the way over. We're trying to go really slow on this one, not just because we want to rest. We want to get that good range of motion. Nice. The other leg is always kept straight, so when you get over here, you know which leg you need to pull through. Good. And now we're into our plank shift. So we're in that downward dog. We're going to come, when we're ready, all the way forward, kind of past what the push-up position would be. Hold that for a second or two, and then go all the way back up. Holding this, getting a nice hamstring stretch. Good. When you hear the buzzer, we're going to go right back into our knee, hip, crawl, roll, and one more round of this before we get to rest. Good. Standing up. If you don't have it exactly right, that's okay. As long as you keep moving. I don't think you're going to hurt yourself too much on this move. Make sure that you are rolling all the way over though. Good. One more rep and then we're probably into our squat thrust. Good. So the key here is that her legs are a little bit wide and she's squatting down to those hands hit the ground and then kicking out into that nice plank position, jumping back up. Good. All right, we got 8 seconds left here. Then we're into our Kong crawl. So these two movements back together, back to back, are fairly challenging, and we're going into Kong.
Yeah, they burn a little bit.
Yes.
The back to back legs.
Good. And you'll get a little rest in the scorpion. Good. I think for most people, they should have enough room at home to do 2 of these in each direction. 10 seconds to go. And go at your own pace. Take a rest anytime you need to. We're almost there. All right, we're into our scorpion now. So time to slow things down a little bit. All the way over, nice and slow. You can hang out here for a couple seconds if you want to. Bring that through. Trying to get that leg up as high as possible. And just hanging out on that one arm right there is a nice kind of strength. A little bit of mobility there. Nice, we got 5 seconds to go, and then we're into our plank shift for our last 30 seconds of this flow. Down dog, just rocking forward, holding there. That should be a little bit of strength, and then back up. Good. You got 10 seconds to go. 5, 2, 1, and rest. So we'll take a little bit longer rest time. That one's a little bit, definitely more cardio. Heart rate should be up a little bit more elevated. Stand up, walk around, get some water, and we're back here in 60 seconds. How'd that feel?
Good.
Yeah, it's always surprising me when I do it that it's harder than I think it is. But it's only really hard for those, because then you're in a scorpion and you can kind of recover.
It's definitely the squat thrust and the Kong crawl that is the hardest.
Yeah.
Doable though.
So then we're gonna go back to our swings, our squats. We'll add lunges this time, and then the push-ups, and we'll do that second flow up there, which is figure 4, rock up.
And the lunge, you don't care which way, forward or backward.
Which one? Oh yeah, either way. We'll do it backwards. I think most people should probably do backwards. It's easier for them. All right, so hopefully we've recovered by now at this point. If you haven't, you can certainly pause this and take a few more seconds. We're back up for our swings. So let's get that nice start position, kettlebells on the ground and tilted, and we're gonna do 12 swings here. Really trying to use our whole body here. Our lats are involved at the top of that swing. Good. Take a few seconds to rest. A couple deep breaths. And we're going to go in back to our body weight squat for 10 reps. Pulling ourselves down. Good. Take a brief rest if you need. We're going to do lunges. Lisa's going to demonstrate reverse lunges. Most of us should be doing this for the class a little bit easier on your knees. So we're going to do 5 reverse lunges on each leg. Knees almost at the ground. If you want, you can touch the ground lightly, but just don't kind of plop into that and hit that. Nice. Then take a brief rest and we'll go back into one more set of push-ups. Everything is nice and locked on. That pit of that elbow is kind of going forward, so our elbows are close to our body, which will protect your shoulders. Nice. All right, we'll take 30 seconds and we're going to start back into the next flow. This is going to consist of a figure 4 rock up, which we did back in that first mobility flow, into a Cossack squat on each side, an under switch. Some of you are having a little bit issues with that under switch, so watch how she does that. From the under switch, we'll go into a table maker, and then the last move will be a V-sit, so we'll get some core work in there. Same kind of idea. We're going to do 30 seconds of work of each of these and go through 2 times. So we're starting with our figure 4 rock up, and we're going to go in 3. Don't hit me with your ball, please. 2, 1, and here we go. Figure 4 rock up, all the way to standing.
Oh.
Sorry. Yep. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yep.
My bad.
I'm being attacked by a dog with a ball in his mouth. Hi. Good. 10 seconds left. Hopefully by now your hips are a little bit looser than when we started and you're able to get yourself up there. From here we're going right into our Cossack after we come up, so wide stance. And you can see she's going to squat to one side and pull her toes up on the other side. Oh, do you want me to throw it or not? Good. 10 seconds left. 5. When we hear the buzzer, we're going into our under switch. So let's get nice, get a good strong position set up, and then just turn, boom. Keep turning. So you're picking up opposite hand and opposite foot. But everything comes down to back to the ground. Here we go. Good. Halfway through. Five seconds to go, and from here we'll go into our table makers. Good, ended up in almost a perfect position for that. Good. Hanging out like a second and a half second in each one of these end of range of motions just to get a nice stretch. The shoulders in the top position, hamstrings in the bottom position. We're halfway through. We're almost, yes, we're halfway through this, and we're gonna go to our V-sit after this. So we're up for a V-sit in 5 seconds. There's it. Good. So sitting, arms out, legs are nice and straight. If you have tight hamstrings, you can also just bring your knees in. You'll still get a lot of work here. And this is actually fairly challenging to hold well and stay all the way up for that 30 seconds. Good. 10 seconds to go. When we hear the buzzer, we're back up to our rock up. All the way to standing. 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice. Your goal here is to use as little energy as possible to get yourself up to that standing position. Good. 5 seconds left. Ah, she wanted to cheat that a little bit and stay up there so she
I
could
was gonna hit it just in time.
right into the Cossack.
Seems like a long 5 seconds.
So if somebody's following along and they have really good hip mobility, they can stay down and then go side to side. This is more like a Kim Hall kind of thing. Most of us are not going to have that mobility to be able to do that well. So we want to come up. 3, 2, and now we're back to our under switch. So opposite hand, opposite leg. Nice turn. So we're simply in our crawling position, then we go to our crab position. So that's all we're doing. This is a transition to different positions. Halfway through. All right. After that, please. Hi, sweetie. I know. Where's your ball? The lockdown's bothering Walter too, so.
Apparently.
All right, we're into table makers. Would you stop moving the camera?
He wants to make a cameo appearance.
Good. And the key here in that top position is you want to think about squeezing your shoulder blades and your glutes. Please stop that. 5 seconds to go. And we're in V-sit, and then we'll get the rest. Okay, relax. All right, so we're back into our V-sit. Trying to carve out, kind of have that hollow body. Okay. Walter's very interested in the tripod. Get away. Go get your ball. Where's your ball? Good. 10 seconds and you get the rest. 5, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. We'll take a minute rest here. We'll go back to our swings and our squats. You can see Walter, if you've missed him, he's got his ball stuck under one of the steps. So he's got his work cut out for him. All right. Get it?
Did you do that on purpose, Walter?
All right. We're back to our swings when you're ready. That bell. Good strong position. Tilted, lats are engaged, and we're swinging. Good. Take a little short rest. So now we're going to add another movement to our leg circuit. Elisa's going to do jumping lunges after her lunges, but if this bothers your knees, you can certainly, you don't have to do those. You can add we'll get some more Cossacks in as a substitute. So if you're certainly north of 50 and your knees are a little achy, I would not do the jumping lunges. Good. We're doing reverse lunges, 5 on each. There we go. Good. This will definitely get your heart rate up a little bit. Good. And take a little rest. We'll go back to our push-ups. Lats are engaged. Strong body. Nice. Jerk. and rest. We're gonna do one more flow through here in about 60 seconds, so grab some water. I think you know everything on there.
Which one is it?
3. So deck squat essentially should be, what does it say? Crawl forward and backwards.
Forward, backward, crawl.
Backward roll you can do?
Like over the shoulder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just switching.
Yeah.
Each time.
And then
kick through.
Yep. And
Full
then
on kick through?
side kick through.
Or side kick through.
Yeah.
Okay, not front kick through.
Yeah.
And then hip switch.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
30 seconds, everything.
Yes. Okay, so if you've got this far and you feel like you've done enough, that's totally fine. We're about 30 minutes in from when we started. If you want a little bit more, we're gonna do one more flow. I really like this flow, especially good for jiu-jitsu people. So we're gonna, same idea, we're gonna go through twice, 30 seconds apiece. I'll call them out and we are gonna go right now, starting off with a deck squats. 3, 2, 1, and we are going. So some of you can do these. Some of you need a little elevation or a kettlebell in your hand to do that. If that's still challenging for you, you can just go back to that figure 4 rock up and you'll end up in the same position. Good, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go right into some crawling. And most of us are dealing with limited spaces, so we'll do like 3 or 4 steps forward. And our regular beast crawl where our knees are close to the ground, and 3 or 4 steps backwards. Good. 5 seconds to go. 2, 1, good. Now we're gonna do a backward roll. We'll do a couple different versions and I'm putting this on her on the fly. So a regular backward roll over our shoulder, like this, if you have room. Good.
My other side is always,
That's okay.
I favor the same side.
And you can do this now without going all the way over. She's just gonna roll, touch her feet to the mat and then come back to where she started. And this is a great one for most of us in jiu-jitsu. Also takes up a little bit less space, so this would be great. We're doing that. Good, and the buzzer's gonna go here in a second. And now we are into our side kick through. So I know some of us struggle on this one a little bit. We'll break it down. She's in that nice position right here. She comes back to the start position. Her head's at 12 o'clock. That leg's gonna go out to whatever that would be, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Legs are straight. One thing I often see in this is people bring that leg and kind of take it way, out behind them that way. We're trying to have that leg come forward is what we want. Good. From there, we're gonna go right into our hip switch, which we did in the beginning, but now we're gonna add a little bit of speed to it. So she's gonna move through these fairly quickly. Okay, I know, you like that ball. Give it to me so I can throw it for you. Jackass.
Is there one more thing after this?
Nope, this is, we'll go back to the start. So we're up at 8 seconds. We'll go back to our deck squat. And we are going. Nice. Add a little jump up in there. Then try to come down nice, do a squat and roll right back into it. Ten seconds to go. 3, 2, and we are into our crawl. So, a couple steps forward, and then backwards. I can't throw it for you if you don't let me have it. Jackass. Go get it. Good, 10 seconds to go. Really focus on trying to keep your knees close to the ground and taking small steps. 2, 1, and now we're into our backwards roll. We'll call we'll just go to our feet, touch the mat, a half roll. So we'll just do that, and we'll kind of alternate that side to side. All you jiu-jitsu guys know that this is a good position that if we can attain this, to kind of help with our guard. So now's the time to work on it. We're almost done. 2, 1, side kick through, and we got 60 seconds left in our final flow. Watch how she pulls that top arm, that elbow comes really back, very tight. If you want to make this harder, one of the ways is just kind of hang out there, right there, bring that leg forward towards the camera, and there's some strength involved in there. Nice and slow. And the other way to make it harder is to move a little bit faster and really start hitting that jump through. As she hits right here, she's going to really drive the yes. Good. Last move. We're into our hip switches. Last 25 seconds here. Nice. 15 seconds to go. Oh, and there's Walter's ball on the mat. He's got a moral dilemma now, what he should do. We're almost there. 2, 1, and rest. Good. You can get your ball back. No. All right. All we're going to do to finish up, take a few seconds to rest, recover, is our swings, our leg circuit, adding one more movement to it, and our push-ups. So take a few seconds here. You've gone through 4 different flows. Should be feeling kind of nice and mobile. A little sweaty by now. All right, last set of swings. You got hair all over me, bro. Nice. Okay. Good. Done with the swings. All right, short little rest, couple deep breaths, and then we're going to add a 4th movement, and that's jump squats. So 10 squats. Get off me. It's like having a little kid. 5 reverse lunges on each leg. Good. And Elisa's going to go into her jumping lunges. You can certainly do Cossacks if these are rough on your knees. And then our 4th and final movement will be jump squats. I think everybody, unless they have a really existing knee injury, can kind of do these where this is fairly gentle on your knees. Nice. Heart rate should be up. We'll take a little rest here. And then last set of push-ups. You might be able to hear that construction work outside. At least those guys are still working. And there you have it. It's pretty much from warm up to the finish. We're at 38.5 minutes. Pretty solid workout. You can add things to it in between the flows. You can do the flows 3 or 4 times through if you choose to, or do your favorite flow a whole bunch of times. Either way, you should have a good workout and feel better. Feel better than when you started?
Absolutely.
There you go. Let's thank Elisa for helping being our model. You don't want to watch me do all that.